Hey guys, what up? It's Jeff from Urban Condo Spaces. Okay, want to jump on today and talk to you about something that's going on in the market. Big discussion point from East Coast to West Coast, and that's this idea of everyone kind of moving out of the city and into kind of suburban areas. And some of that is in fact true, okay? It's not just COVID, but in a city like Seattle, we're also experiencing some things that we're not used to. Some politics, some protesting, some things that have made downtown maybe to some a little bit less desirable. And so I want to go through a few of those little discussion points, but also make some comparisons to what's going on in New York City, okay? Because regardless of what you're seeing or reading about what's happening in the downtown core, there's a greater story to tell, okay? And we're going to try to break this down in a quick 2-3 minute video here. Okay, so in a nutshell, if you guys have been following the blog, you've seen that I've been updating weekly inventory or weekly stats on what's going on in the Seattle market. You'll see that on Mondays, I'm posting the number of new units that have come on, the number of pending units, the number of sold units, and then our total inventory. Okay, well, one thing that you can see pretty clearly since COVID is this trend of rising inventory in the Seattle market. I put together a new graphic for you. Okay, and you're going to see this on a blog post that goes out today with this video. And okay, now we're not talking about lower left to upper right, but a very gradual increase in condominium inventory. Okay, now this can be attributed to a number of different things. One, COVID, for sure, right? Some of us are having a little bit of apprehension and sharing the same elevator buttons or sharing the same amenity space or lobbies. And so for that reason, some of us are considering other options. Secondly, because we've kind of gravitated towards a work from home culture, at least temporarily, people are taking advantage of that and they're buying second homes. They're moving in Washington out to Suncadia. They're going up to the San Juan Islands. They're going down to Gig Harbor. You can see the numbers in Pierce County. They have been exceptionally strong. And then lastly, I think in Seattle specifically, you know, we've had a lot of protesting. We've had a political culture of infighting between Seattle City Council, the mayor, and there's a lot of Seattle business owners that don't feel that they're being heard or represented very well. And that's kind of created an issue as well. There are simply some people in Seattle that are fed up with politics. And so for that reason, you're seeing them migrate not just out of the city, but in some cases out of the state. For any of the city officials that don't think this is happening, all they have to do is call someone like myself or one of my other colleagues in the industry, and we can confirm with them that their policy is having a direct relation to some of this movement in the market. Now, it is important to have kind of historical context or to make a comparison to another market to kind of see what's going on in our market. And so for that reason, I pulled some data out of New York. Many of you guys have heard that in New York City, there's been an influx, not an influx, let's just call it an excessive amount of condo luxury apartments that have gone unsold. And to put it in perspective, they have 17 months of supply. Okay, so that means that if no new condominium unit came on in New York, which is almost impossible, today it would take them 17 months to currently get through all of their supply with the current rate of absorption. Okay, now, historically in New York, that supply had been about 8 months. So you can see it's grown from 8 to 17. That's very concerning. Now, inversely, when you look at the Hamptons, okay, the number of contracts in the Hamptons is up 100%. Okay, so people are literally moving out of the city, buying a place out in the Hamptons where at a minimum temporarily they can work from home and they don't have to be in the city of New York. Now, even yesterday, de Blasio, the mayor of New York, had kind of cracked a joke, but to be honest, the undertone was real, and that's that, you know, he's encouraging everyone to come back into the city, and for buyers to come back into the city. He says if they do, he'll buy them dinner. what he's alluding to is something that's very, very important. You know, without the tax revenue and without the commuting revenue that goes through the toll bridges and stuff on the way into the city stands to lose a significant amount of monthly revenue, annual revenue that it takes to run a big city like New York. So drawing that comparison to Seattle, we have 6.9 months of supply in the downtown core, okay? So what that means, again, is if we didn't see another unit come on the market today, it would take 6.9 months, almost 7 months to get through our supply. Now, the numbers that I use is a seller's market is basically 0 months of inventory to 3. 3 to 6 months is kind of considered a neutral market, and then 6 months to 9 months is considered a buyer's market. So we are kind of right there on that cusp of being squarely into a buyer's market. Now, when you look at the Seattle as a whole, it's really kind of more of a neutral market to still a seller's market. And then if you look at Seattle real estate outside of downtown Seattle, it's been on fire, right? The current days on market across the board can't be more than 2 weeks, you know, or 14 days. So in that sense, the market's very healthy, it's very strong. So what are we gonna see in the future? You know, I think we need to see this vaccine in order to give the proverbial shot in the arm to the downtown market. I think political culture in Seattle has to come a little bit more towards the center instead of being left of left. I'm not suggesting my beliefs at all politically or positioning myself, but these are the facts. The policy in Seattle right now is affecting the culture of the people that live downtown and want to be downtown, especially when they're not being heard by city council. So moving forward, if you guys want to continue to stay plugged in, watch these weekly updates from me. On occasion, I miss one. Look, it's summer, I'm busy, I'm traveling, but what I'm gonna do and what you'll see today is I'm catching on a couple weeks that I've missed, and I'm certainly gonna keep you guys in the know on what's going on. Now, if you're a seller, stay optimistic. You know, price your unit really sharply, really aggressively. Don't overprice it and think that you're gonna get that number. You need to attract buyers to come and purchase your unit. And then as a buyer, if you're a condo buyer in Seattle, giddy up, baby. It's time to go out and enjoy yourself. Maybe put multiple bids on different units. Try to drive the price down to make it a number that works for you. If you're an investor and you guys want my opinion on some of the best units or the best buys in all of Seattle, that's what I'm here for. All you gotta do is ask. So do me a favor, guys, if you liked the video, if you liked the update, this bit of a comparison from you know, Seattle to New York, covering both coasts, do me a favor, hit the like button or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can see that graph that I mentioned online, and then these are the weekly stats that I mentioned that we're producing week in and week out. Thanks for watching. Hey, leave a comment below. What are you seeing? What do you expect in the next 6 to 12 months? If we get a vaccine, does that help the market? How much does it help the market? Let's kind of start some healthy discussion. Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you're having a good Monday. It's beautiful here in Seattle. Talk to you soon. See ya.